Hello. How are you all doing today? Yeah. It's Monday. It's Monday, chat. We're going to change this title. All right. Title changed. I'll have to change that later. Miguels, how you doing? How you doing, my friend? All right. We're going to play a league here. We're going to get into that modern mentality here. We're going to be bringing some good stuff with us. We're going to be bringing some goblins. Yes, we are. Bam. All right, let's organize this. 4 chalices, 2 bridges. I said I was going to fix that. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So this is the list. I said I was going to fix and bring in an extra bridge over the challenge. If you haven't watched the challenge, that's available on YouTube. We did pretty a-okay. What did I want to add? I talked about an abrade. I did bring a slagstorm in here, and we have 9 goblins now. We're ramping up the goblins because we believe in the goblins. Also, the Zachroma hasn't done too much, but I kind of want to leave it in there. I think, as much as it kind of pains me, maybe I just drop the walking ballista here and add the bridge. It's probably okay. It makes us a little bit weaker to some of the stuff that ruins the day for us. The other thing I could be doing here is bringing in Hazret from the sideboard and putting walking ballista in. I'm almost tempted to do that. I could also just jam Krenko in here and then, yeah, let's do that. We're gonna play goblins. Get rid of one more Karn here. We're gonna test lowering the Karn count here. Yes, yes. Angers, Achromas, Hazarets. I haven't played Goth in a while. Let's jam Goth in here. All right. What do we got here? We have 21 lands, 9 ritual effects. That's the 30. We don't ever go above that. I tend to not go below that, but you maybe could. Maybe. That is the 30 ways to power out our spells. We're looking to power out Blood Moon. Not necessarily Bridge, but we could power out Chalice as well. We're not going to do... In the Discord, I hinted at maybe doing a spreadsheet in between rounds to kind of go through my mental approach to the metagame. We're not going to do that. Just a game. Just leagues. Just leagues here. We're going to bring up the Chandra count. We're going to go closer to Classical at this point than anything else. And I'm just feeling like some goblins. You know what would be a really cool card? Instead of playing a Chroma, chat. Ooh, what about this one? Ooh, go fetch with Karn. That could be kind of cool. A Chroma or this? Why not both? Why not both? I kind of want 2 Torpors for that humans matchup, but we're not going to play against humans, so I'm going to take 1 Torpor out as well. All right, we have our spice down here. It's a little bit of a different list. 10 goblin effects too. This is definitely going to be the goblin list. Let's play some Magic. I'm kind of done putting cards together. Ignore that. That was this weekend. I tried to do something and it just didn't go very well, chat. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It wasn't this list. Promise. How we doing? It's Monday. Woo! Slow start today. Creeped up on us. Hey, looking at the stats, chat, we're almost at 24,000 views on the channel. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Pat on the back, chat. You guys are what drive those numbers up, and you guys are what contribute to the stream. Guys, ladies, gents, men and women, children with their parents. Let's play some Magic. Let's stop talking about that. Let's play some Magic. We are 0-0 against both the Birds. I don't really approve of this name. We like the Birds. All right. I would love to play first. I'd love lands, too. Lands are important. By the way, we're going to see if Karn, the Great Creator, is like Obzidat. Obzidaddy, or the Ghost Council. We always always seem to draw, even though it was a one of. We'll see if that happens here. We're going to keep this hand. We get the scry. I'm going to bottom this. I don't need that land. We're going to find another land. We'll find another land. I bet it's the next one. Chalice. Let's bottom that too. I'm all in on this war boss here. I don't think Chalice on 1 is good against my opponent. Ooh, it would have been great. All right, but we're a few cards deeper, chat. We're playing loose here. Loosey-goosey. Sleight of hand. It's on auto yield. Bolt or Blood Moon might be worth it here. My opponent doesn't have blue mana if I play this. We could also Karn. I don't think I want a Karn. I think I want a Blood Moon and try to take them off blue here. Let's see what kind of deck they are. All red. All red. Manamorphose, my friend. Their name is Bolt the Bird. We could easily expect mountains from them. This could be Storm, Sleight of Hand, and Shivan Reef and Spirebluff Canal kind of indicate that. Sideboard-wise, we don't have too much for that. Ooh, Phyrexian Metamorph. Ooh. Ooh. It's just smash in face. Could be a thing. I'm not convinced, but could be a thing. Alright, Chandra's kind of interesting here. Chandra's kind of interesting. We also have War Boss here. I don't think we're getting remanded, are we? That would be weird. I'm going to assume they're Storm and going to go ahead and play just War Boss here and swing in for 1. It's probably better to have a threat here. If they get blue mana here and they play a lot of stuff, I don't think we were stopping that. We do have the Abrade. Looks like Blood Moon's doing magical work here. Manamorphose. Alright. Do we just lose? Double blue has been made here. Baral. Ritual. Ritual. And Gifts Ungiven. Ritual effect Pass in Flames, probably. Pass in Flames and Ritual effects. I guess I'm bending the 2 rituals, although I don't think it's gonna matter. I think we lost. Even though we had Blood Moon. Past in Flames. You get to make a lot of mana here. A lot of mana. I like our position, by the way. Our more aggressive built deck should be able to take this down in game 2 and game 3. We do not have any graveyard hate. I'm gonna guess they have a remand here. They could also just Past in Flames again and cast this. Good warm-up. Good warm-up, chat. Past in Flames recast this? They had the other one. Alright. Getting stormed out. Ooh. Leaving up a Braid there, I'm not sure is the correct play. We don't even have the 4th land to do something like a Desperate Ritual and the Goblin. We needed to be a little quicker. Little quicker. Our Chalice would have been reasonable. We got a little feisty there. Alright, but we do have the 4 of Eidolons. We're going to bring some Angers in here. I can take out Bridges. Those are pretty good to take out. I'm going to take out Karn as well. Blood Moon is not very good either. So that's 9 out. There's 7 plus, what, Hazoret and Koth? We're going classic on them. Alright, so Karns are out because Karn's going to be turn 4. I want to be doing something before turn 4 on average. Blood Moon doesn't hit a whole lot. And Ensnaring Bridge doesn't do anything either. 1 year, Varos. Thank you so much. I really need to fix the resubs. They need music. What's up? I've been in 12 months. I don't think I've subbed to you that long. I'm sorry. We support you in other ways. We support you in many other ways. All right, we're gonna try this list here. Rude. I can withdraw chests, right? You're the bank, right? I banked them with you. You kept them safe, right? I can come get my chests again. How do you take my sub back? Evening. Ever since Streamlabs enabled resub different notifications, we've had trouble with their notifications. All right, let's play first. Oh, nothing. All right, we're gonna mulligan this. It's one land. It can't ritual out. Doesn't look good. All right, this is a little bit better. We're gonna keep this. I'm gonna bottom the land here. We're gonna check what's on top here as well. I'm gonna bottom that. Pass turn. This is a turn 2 war boss. Doesn't mean it's gonna get very far. We'll see. My opponent kept all 7. War boss number 1 here. Swinging in. We have war boss number 2 right behind it. We are missing our double red. One of the weaker points of playing the void. So, sort of the question here is, do I anger here? It's probably a yes. I can't let Baral stick around, unfortunately. Do any of the spoilers appeal to you thus far? No. Nope. Nope. Nada. Alright, we'll go ahead and anger here. It feels like the correct line. I feel like I just get blown out if I don't do that. No, because they suck. Factor Fiction's pretty cool. Goblin Pointy Hat is cool. Spoilers, chat. My bad. My bad, chat. Spoilers. We're gonna go ahead and just run the gemstone out here. We're doing this because we don't have double red anyway, and most of our spells that are double red. Oh gosh, are we gonna die here? You agree with anger? Yeah. Although we're in real trouble now. Oh, empty. We've bottomed, unfortunately, other shenanigans. Alright, I'm gonna hold this land. I don't want them to think that I've drawn immaculately here. Yeah, there's a lot of the spoilers left. Opponent has 4 mana, open Baral here. This feels awkward. Feels very awkward. Pieces of the puzzle. Whoops. Well, they'll probably bin that. I'm imagining they keep Pyretic and Bolt here, would be my guess. Let's see if we get it right. Oh, they don't. Wow. 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 I think we lose. So they just have to now bolt this and grape shot me? I think we lost. This hit 1 card. That was a real bad piece of the puzzle. This one hit 3 cards. Did not use repeal. They have an echoing and an opt here. Storm counts at 11. They lightning bolt me. Grape shot me. Grape shot, grape shot, grape shot. I think we're good to concede here, chat. They were targeting Legion War Boss. With 2 of these out of the 12, that means 10 goes to face. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, putting us to 1. We'd have to draw anger. All right. We got the bad match out of the way. Got the bad match out of the way. It's probably not a bad match, actually. Empty is beatable, but my opponent going off with tons of mana is not. It's not very beatable. It's not a good start. That's all right, though. Who needs good starts to go 4-1? We're also straying a little bit away from the good stuff. Turn 4 Force of Will? What? Shenanigans. I think it's funny, after having seen a few... We're going to play mind games. What do you want named? First thing I see, I will name. First thing I see, I will name, even though they are probably blue-white. We should probably name humans. That would be the smart thing. Ferret. All right. Ferret. Bam. Done. Opponent, think on that one. I will let you guys know if they comment. So, in previous spoiler seasons, one thing I've noticed is that blue cards get spoiled very early. And I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. My opponent is probably Googling what deck plays Cavern of Souls and names Ferret. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. They have double white now. And Blood Moon actually doesn't shut this off. This is miserable. Oh boy. The Phyrexian card. Yeah, he almost always ruins the day. By the way, this will be the second opponent that storms us out here. Today is a very stormy day. Looks very bright out right now. We are F6'd because I have nothing, but we will have not told them anything either. Cavern of Souls naming Ferret. They'll have no clue. Good afternoon, Jamtown. Thoughts on Seasoned Pyromancer? 3 mana, double red, difficult, card advantage reasonable. Doesn't make tokens. Mardu Pyromancer does not want him necessarily as a 4 of, but maybe as a 1 of. That is probably one of the few decks that will take advantage of him. Our deck, questionable, not aggressive. Card draw's nice, but doesn't win you games. Great for a hand that is mulliganed. There you go. All right, we have a 2/8 and a 2/8 across from us. All right, we're going to continue to play Magic here. I'm going to go ahead and jam this Blood Moon. I don't think that tells them a whole lot about our deck. Not a single thing. Our token doesn't get through if we make it. Besides, we're helping them out. We're going to give them Grape Shot mana. I need to make sure that is their win condition, I think. This is how I feel about this matchup right now. By the way, Seasoned Pyromancer is what, like Mythic or something? Good old Modern looks balanced to you. We're on turn 3. That's reasonable, right? Do I continue to play this, or do we just scoop it up because Chalice on 0 ruins this deck? If we scoop it up now, we might get a full 2 leagues in. That would be a thing. The content is on you guys. Do you want more content, or do you want to sit here and chat? We can chat about spoilers. These are options. You have options on this channel. If you're brand new and you didn't know it, this is an interactive community. We give you guys options. You get to name cards. You get to decide if I'm going to scoop or not. Look at how much influence you guys have. My opponent's almost 40 cards deep. Scoop a loop. All right, I'm cool with this. I'm going to assume that they're grape shotting me at some point. We'll just scoop here and we'll keep going. We have Eidolon. We have Chalice. I don't even think I want Bridge here because we win by just sticking those two things. This sideboard shouldn't be too hard. All right, Bridges. Come here, Bridges. All right, Bridges out. We're going to be bringing Eidolons in. Karn's probably too late, so we'll take Karn's out. I don't think I want Angers over just the Sly Storms or Braids. Phyrexian Metamorph probably can come in here. We have Hazard and Koth. Those are options as well. I don't think I need the Hazard or Koth. We have a lot of aggro pieces anyway. By bringing these in, I have essentially all of this that's aggro. I'm a quarter aggro, chat. And then we have 4 cards that lock them out. I guess Chandra's slow compared to these two. I think that's about all. There'd be maybe an argument if I was running the 4 Karn list to play a Chalice in the sideboard maybe. But I don't think this is the correct build. We're just trying it out. Plus I have a cool thumbnail that's a goblin and I want to use the cool thumbnail. These are the decisions we made. We're going to keep this hand. Again, first thing I see I will name. We have a cavern. We're not going to be naming a goblin. First thing, and no, it can't be Ferret and it can't be from Zale. Gotta be from a new person. Alright, Chalice on 0. I'll play a mountain to give you guys time to name something. Turd, name that. It's gotta be a magic card. Unless there is such a thing. We'll play this Void here before we get this Cavern of Souls down. I'm gonna bottom Chandra. I don't think Chandra's gonna be needed. We have one already in hand. Can't be from Zale. Sorry. Pass. Pass. Someone else could name that though. You got your ferrets. What if they have a counter and I don't name Goblin here? Or spirits? Bear. Alright. Alright, we're still gonna name Bear. I promised I would name Bear. Typically I would name Spirits and slam this because this is showing a counter spell. Typically I would name Spirits, jam that. That is the correct line. But I respect my chat. We will be naming Bear. Repeal. Hercules recall. Alright, we have been recalled. Maybe we just jam this on 2 next. All their creatures that matter are on 2. Alright, let's go. Take 2. Take 2. What are we looking for, opponent? Take 2. Are they gonna beat me? Blue mana. Retract. Take 2. Now you're out of mana. We may not get to name Bear. Awkward. This wins now. Alright, let's do the Slagstorm kill here. I'm gonna name Bear. I got it. Bear. We'll use that mana. 3 damage to each player. Cool. Got there. Got there. I think. Maybe. Okay. Easy. We did nothing. I can't say that. We had a Chalice and 0, we had an Eidolon. Actually, the Eidolon was right on time. Eidolon was right on time. I think the deck looks good. Submit. Let's go. Let's go. Whoa. I'm staring at the sideboard and going, where's my other Torp Orb? Ha! That's right, I took it out. You did something, I F6'd. We're gonna keep this spicy hand. Oh my gosh. Against the Cheerio Man. Against the Cheerio Man, this game's gonna be over so fast. Lightning fast, chat. Alright, Gemstone, Eidolon, Blood Moon. Good luck, opponent. Oh, Plains. Oh. Oh. Okay. Alright, we're not out of it yet. Protection from that creature go off next turn? Kind of out of cards. That is a thing. What's a chroma for? Blue-white. Alright. It is for the blue-white matchup. How far are we going? Burning Forge. Alright, so I can Blood Moon here if I'd like to. I take them off of green, but also probably off of blue. I could also just take this out. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to take that out. This should protect it, though. I think this is a little better than a Blood Moon here. Sideboard's pretty close. There's a few changes to it. Just a few changes. No attacks. I like my Eidolon. 2 less Karns. Some other stuff's in there. Alright, how far do you want to go, opponent? Here we go. They have to find blue mana. Or maybe white. Maybe they have like a path or something. My opponent does need to find a way to remove Eidolon, though, before this gets out of hand. Haven't played a land this turn yet, so they have that going for them. So Chroma is for blue-white, and it usually doesn't do anything. So if you're looking to buy in a Chroma, you could. Opponent finds blue-white here. That's a little bit dangerous for us. Finds the Mox Opal as well. They need one more here to activate Mox Opal. They should have it, I would presume. They do not have it. Alright, well, I'm going to jam Blood Moon here. This will turn off their blue, so if they want to, they'd have to fire it off there. Well, I guess they don't have to. They can echoing it now if they'd like. Looks like if they are, they're going to end step it here. You own all the Chromas? Nice. This next turn, we're going to play Simian Spirit Guide out. That way the following turn I can start attacking in. Just kidding, won't be attacking. It's a funny thing attacking into a 2/4. Alright, we're going to cast Simian Spirit Guide here, just as extra bonus points. And F6 to my opponent. One thing I wouldn't mind here is another Eidolon. I would also not mind a Chandra, probably. Alright. We're just going to F6 here. My opponent's probably looking for a way to deal with Eidolon here if they can. Okay. This turns on Mox Opal now. We have white. Probably should get the Karn sooner than later. Ooh, Teferi. Teferi is being played everywhere. Alright, opponent. Teferi is literally being played everywhere. Alright. I guess they have to hit a Mox Opal, probably. To have enough mana to do something. We're going to be replaying Eidolon, obviously. Teferi is a little bit of a problem. I guess I wouldn't mind drawing a... Rabblemaster effect. Alright, we're going to play Blood Moon here and a Eidolon. I do not get around this, unfortunately. I have 2 turns to draw an answer to Teferi, it looks like. I did leave Hazoret and Koth in the sideboard because I figured this game would be over before turn like 5. What do you think the red force of whatever will be? Could be artifact based. It could also be sacrificing a creature based. There's been things like infernal plunges and stuff like that. It could be damage related. There's a repeal targeting their own Mox Opal to replay Mox Opal to get the mana they need. grape-shotting Eidolon here. Okay. Replays Mox Opal. This isn't very good. They are at 3. Recall. Oh boy. Them Cheerios. Them Cheerios. Getting stormed out. Wonder if we're gonna lose here. I'm guessing that the red force will be, because they're what? They're instant speed. They're not on your turn. You exile. So it's a 2 for 1. They're anywhere from, it looks like 3 to 5-ish mana maybe is our guess at this point. I think we lost, by the way. Could be direct damage to something. It could be a lot more damage. It might be something like, I'll even challenge, it could be like 6 or 7 damage to target creature or planeswalker or something, maybe. Exile 2 red cards. Nothing says it's 1. Could be 2. Alright, so we have a couple of cards here that we got to get past at some point. Looks like we're going to get a turn here, which is good for us. But I'm not really sure what I have in the deck that's good. I do have my 2 Slag Storms. Wouldn't be bad to draw one of those. Could be land destruction, that's true. What would that be, though? They're not going to print that at instant speed. That's an interesting draw. Well, I have to play this. I have to play that. Pass turn. I don't think they would print land destruction at instant speed. Keep in mind the force things seem to be on your, not on your turn. You get to get that alternate cost. So what does red want to do on an opponent's turn typically? It's typically something like a burn effect. My opponent, by the way, is going to wait 1 turn here and then play Teferi on probably Eidolon and go off and win. Extra planes here. I'm not blocking these, so. My opponent also really doesn't have to do a whole lot here. These are 2 7s and 2 8s. Krenko. I guess Krenko's a bit awkward here because we're going to take the damage from Eidolon. But I think I do need this to create blockers. Throwing mountains to face. They're a lot about damage. Damage in response to things. A lot of damage usually. So they're gonna bounce Eidolon here and probably win. Yeah, it's a lot of damage usually. All of our bridges are out, by the way, because the game shouldn't go this long. Now they're gonna draw 3 a turn. Trying to think what else red could be doing. Red does a lot of looting or wheeling effects too. A little more randomness sometimes as well, although I don't think they would want to do a random thing. 1, 2, 3. 3 damage to me? Yeah, but they already have a card that kind of does that. It's the Fire Blast itself. That's why I'm not convinced it's going to be that. By the way, if my opponent does not play any more spells here, swings are both of these, and then it's our turn. We could top deck Slag Storm. I have to assume my opponent's going to play something though. They have 9 cards in hand. Looks like we're running into more Storm-based decks, which is ironic that we actually have all 4 Eidolons in the deck and we're losing to Storm-based decks. What are we doing, opponent? Rugged Prairie. Just Grape Shot? Nope. Keeps new Mox Opal. 3. Hey, Brian. Thank you for the 4 months. Thank you so much. We have an out here, it appears. Our out is Slagstorm, the master. There are rumors about a 2-mana Swords to Plowshares being the white force. Interesting. That is interesting. Slagstorm? Well, not Slagstorm. It's not Slagstorm. 2-mana Swords to Plowshares was kind of interesting. That could see some play. It's an interesting one. All right, we've started weekly here. Now, I'm not going to say that Karn is the absolute reason that we're losing here because I don't have all 4, but it's interesting. We pull him out of the deck and suddenly we're losing. It's like he gave us some great creator blessing. By the way, Brian, what Ojitite list am I supposed to play? You bought a league. What Ojitite list? Depending on when this league ends, we could play said Ojitite list, but then I'll probably lose all the viewers because they're all here for the goblins. Let's be real. Who doesn't love this dude? Look at that face. Look at that face. That's my best impression. What is it? It's his left hand. It's a Goblin Rabble Master, chat. Alright, so we gotta run the table here. I need to make sure this table doesn't fall down. Need to run the table here to get our money back here. We can do it. We can do it. Alright, we've got Chalice. We have a Cavern of Souls. If they're blue-white, I'm going to name Goblin because I'd like to get Krenko down. But if they're not blue-white, chat, this is your opportunity to name what we're going to name off Cavern of Souls. Just kidding. You guys, you're so funny. You fine people are so funny. This card's dead. Alright, we are a more aggressive list. We are against blue-white. If this list does not beat blue-white, I have no words for what we're doing. But if this list does beat blue-white, maybe we are on to something. And maybe we will see a chroma here. Not game 1, though. That'd be cheating. We don't cheat here, chat. No cheating. We gotta throw a Chalice on 1 here, and then this Cavern's gonna lead Krenko to victory. My opponent is lacking in non-basics here. So things could get very interesting. Especially top decking at Blood Moon. I'm gonna go ahead and play that Chalice pass turn. I'm probably gonna have to play Cavern out here and play a Krenko to get my opponent to tap out at some point. So we'll see how that plays out. We have double Krenko here. And my opponent cannot path. And actually Krenko attacking gets through Snapcaster. So it's gonna take quite a bit for my opponent to deal with Krenko here. One downside to Krenko is he doesn't generate a token immediately, and I do kind of am disappointed with this. I kind of wish he did, but maybe that would be just asking for too much. We are looking for my opponent maybe to tap out so I can get this Blood Moon down. I don't expect them to, though. I really don't. In some ways, I almost would expect something like Cryptic at end step bounce Chalice plan to path this. We will see, though. We will see. Having second Krenko's bad here. We only have 2 in the deck, but it is a thing. It is a thing. Alright, opponent has some decisions here, it seems. If they waited a turn, they would get Blast Zone on 0. That is a real possibility. Search for Skanta here. Go ahead and swing in with Krenko. Yielding to the tokens. I'm wondering how likely this Blood Moon is to stick here. I don't think it's actually too likely. Let's go ahead and play a secondary Chalice on 1. If they'd like to counter this, that's fine. We already have 1 Chalice on 1. I'm doing this in case they do get that Cryptic going and they bounce. I don't want them to bounce and then do something like Path this, Serum Visions, Opt. I don't want any of that. None of that. None of that. None of that. Brian didn't answer my question about Ojutai list. No Ojutai lists. Alright, we're just gonna swing in here again. Oops. Well, we're playing around Settle the Wreckage. Alright, return, draw a card. This is actually kind of cool. Alright, and we're going to just jam out a Blood Moon here in pass turn. So we have lots of goblins. We've now taken them off white. They do have a single blue here. This does mean that our Krenko can be countered on the way back down. I think this is an okay sacrifice though. Krenko doesn't generate a token when he's attacking, or on the first turn, so we can go ahead and attack first. Play our Krenko. Alright, we're in a good spot here. Good spot taking blue-white down just for Evan. Alright. Opponent concedes. We get the W. Much needed. I think we can do it in game 2 and game 3. Alright. Bridges out. Slagstorm's out. Probably the Braid's out. I'm going to bring Eidolons in. I'm going to bring Koth, Hazoret, and Akroma. Swamp Base. Thank you for the follow. I'm almost tempted to just leave one Karn in. Just to see in case I happen to get it. So we're going to do Eidolons, we're going to do Koth, Hazoret, Akroma, Phyrexian, Metamorph. We're going to take Bridges, Braids, Slagstorms, and a single Karn out. See what we can do. That would be a good spot for a Force of Negation. Where? Where would have been a good spot for a Force of Negation? I don't oh, it is all non-creature. Okay. No. Yeah. That is true. That is true. How much do you think the existence of Force of Vigor hurts our archetype? Not sure. Cam MTG, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you for the bits. 25 bits. If Infect is ditching cards to destroy artifacts, I guess I'm okay with that. They're not killing us as fast. I'll be very honest, and I don't think it's that much different than, say, a Nature's Claim. I don't know. What would I prefer to see? This Force of Vigor, or would I prefer to see an Ancient Grudge? Obviously, that's not in a strictly green list, kind of like you're saying, the Infect list. It does destroy, what, 2 artifacts for the price of 1 card? Right? Force of Vigor. I'm trying to remember what the wording of it was exactly. MTG. Back one. This one. Alright, my opponent Celestial Purges. Destroy up to 2 artifacts and or enchantments, and so you exile a green card from your hand. Obviously our opponent has to have the green card. If they have redundant versions of it, it's definitely a pain. I don't know. You have to be in green, you have to have the green card, so in a green devotion list I could see it being pretty good against artifact-based lists. Obviously, it's basically a free spell with the cost of pitching a card. I think a lot of decks that are relatively top tier right now are non-green. By the way, we're just getting overrun here by removal. And what about the Blood Moon matchups? So right now, we Blood Moon like Amulet Titan, but I can't see Amulet wanting to pitch cards very easily. There we go. Keep the threats going. Because Amulet's a bit of a combo list. Obviously, if we were to turn 1, turn 2 a Blood Moon, and they happen to have it, then obviously it gets around it. There's the Fairy. I think it's too hard to say right now because just play another one of these, because cards that create card disadvantage take a while to evaluate. You are correct, it can't answer Karn and Lattice. You are correct. My opponent is drawing lots of cards. It's not very good for us. No attacks here. This draw is clear. Next draw will be Eidolon again because they tucked it with Teferi. We're sort of flooding out real hard here. Maybe I'll top deck a Chroma. I think, for example, Simeon's Spirit Guide took a little bit of time to figure out. And I think that is a good indicator of those cards that are card disadvantage, where they are valuable in the meta, can be hard to determine. Choosing words carefully. Jace might look at the top here. It's an Eidolon. They might not care about that Eidolon, though. It is an Eidolon. We'll see if they care that much. They put it back on top. They choose not to untop lands. Kind of interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to just hold this mountain here. Force of Vigor cannot answer Karn Lattice. That is correct. That is correct. Yep. Mix them colorless. At any point, my opponent can just bounce an Eidolon. There's a Supreme Verdict. So we need this Jace to put things on the bottom, so we get fresh draws. And they top that one very fast. I'm gonna be very honest. If we can't beat this with the deck that we have, it's just not gonna happen. Illumination from my opponent. I think we're gonna be going back to the Karn list. Might be going back to the Karn list, chat. I think Karn on turn 1, 2, or 3 is just a little bit more busted than like Chandra, because Chandra gets attacked down and or purged or other things. They put the card on top again. I think we're buried in card advantage here. I'm almost tempted to scoop this up and move it along here. More because I just don't see us getting there. I can try this Rabble Master, but they have a Cryptic. Let's go ahead and concede. I'm going to play out the Jace. The two draws that matter here. If it'll let me. But I'm pretty sure we're dead here. So they'd look at this. They'd probably put it on top or bottom. Bottom, we'll just assume bottom. Maybe they don't have a Cryptic or something. So we'd be drawing an Eidolon. I don't think Eidolon's getting there. I don't think much of this is getting there. Not after 2 turns, and then they just emblem Jace. They can always colonnade to block these, and we're not getting something that's gonna lock this out. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. They'll just bounce with Teferi. Oops. Oh, did I just okay, I think we're good. Did I just concede the whole thing? I don't know what I just did. If I just conceded the whole thing, we can give myself a punt. That was a little reactionary there. Not really sure what's going on here now. It doesn't say I've conceded yet. Okay, that was weird. All right, let's play first here. I do have the ability to get a Chalice on 1. Or War Boss. I mean, this is a reasonable hand. It's not doing anything very fast. Captain Asia, how you doing? How you doing, Captain Asia? All right, land. I could. I think I'm not going to, though, and I'm going to just ritual out like Krenko here or something. Kind of force my opponent to deal with this immediately. And it kind of looks like that's what they're going to maybe do. So we'll do Krenko here. I know he doesn't attack for 1. I don't need him to attack for 1. I need him to be pathed. Pathing here would be nice. Looks like my opponent's not going to path. I also did not have a turn 1. Oust. Alright, second from, or third from the bottom. I think I'm going to go ahead and Chalice now. That way we don't get ousted again. I have all the lands I need. Obviously getting something down now is going to be a little bit harder. I'm sure they have counters. Alright, Krenko. Let's retry this. Krenko sticks. I'm playing Krenko also first because if he starts going and attacking, I think I'm in a good spot. Opponent apparently has a lot of white mana here this game. Jace. This is a perfect opportunity to probably just kill Jace with the War Boss. I think if I were to find a land on top, it'd be nice. Look at that. We're going to play straight into the Supreme Verdict Terminus here. We're going to do this because this clears Jace. It also gets us an active Chandra. Obviously, this can all go sideways here in a moment, and probably will. But like I said, I'm going to clear Jace off here. I don't want to deal with Jace after the Terminus that they've set up. And if they don't have the Terminus or the Supreme Verdict here, they don't, maybe. Each player chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from the non-land permanents you control, then sacrifice the rest. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I want to keep Krenko here, my artifact, and my planeswalker here. I'm keeping Krenko because Krenko is going to generate a lot of dudes here. This is not a bad draw. Let's go ahead and play Legion War Boss here. I'm going to go ahead and attack in to make lots of tokens. If they block, I probably just down tick with Chandra. I could also just uptick because I'm planning to go the distance here. I guess if they don't block, I'm upticking. Do I care about this? I'm kind of afraid of this bouncing or do something like that. It's probably worth killing. Although this would be at 6. 6, I can chump block. This has vigilance. I am creating a token every turn. Yeah, let's go up. Let's risk it. I'm gonna go up here. We kind of created a lot of goblins. I guess if they were to cryptic command and tap down the team and attack in, it's a little bit awkward. They could also always bounce Chandra, and maybe I wanted to kill this. But my opponent doesn't have triple blue yet. Purge is still a problem. Purge is still a problem. I do get to attack with lots of goblins, though. Maybe a reason to go ahead and continue plussing up. Illumination. Not for the full 4 here. Colonnade. Double white. Timely reinforcements. Such timely. Get an Eidolon here. Let's go ahead and go up here with the Chandra. I'm going to go ahead and play Eidolon, and we're going to pass turn. I think it's worth it attacking with all of these tokens. They'll block one with this guy and maybe triple block. 1, 2, 3. The other thing they could do here is they could leave these all back, just take the damage and swing around. I have a feeling if they care, they're going to be swinging in the air though anyway, so there's no real point to be leaving too many of those back. I believe my opponent should probably consider just Colonnade swing in here at this point. Gives them a few more draws. Teferi bounce Chandra's a fine thing to do as well. If they attack with Colonnade though, I think then they can just normal Teferi for a turn or two. I think that's better card advantage. I'm not gonna block here. Land that I don't want. Let's go ahead and attack Teferi here. We're safe. Chalice is on 1. They shouldn't be able to kill my goblin. I haven't decided if that Chandra uptick was the right play. I guess it forced them to have, say, like a Teferi or something. Now we're just kind of playing and kind of hoping I go a little bit wider than my opponent. This 4-5 is a little bit of a problem. I say a little bit. It's maybe pretty big actually. If I'm not going to be chump blocking, I think it's fine to attack with both goblins. I get 1 point of damage in instead of just losing 1. I could also start chump blocking. I don't think that's where I want to be just yet. This is a problem card for our aggro list. We're at 6 mana. I need 1 more for a Chroma. Because I have the ritual in hand. Narset. Okay. Oh, Narset. Oh, Detention Sphere. D-Sphere Chalice can start doing some work here. Alright, so we do get a Chandra here. I think this is the chance to go ahead and kill the Cataclysmic Gearhulk. It's probably, Chandra's probably getting countered, but we can give it a shot here. And if she does stick, we'll definitely kill the Gearhulk. If they mana leak here, we're in okay shape. They have to have one more counter here. We're all going to take damage to do all this. Alright, they Dovin's Veto here. We all take a little bit of damage, it looks like. I could just boot up Colonnade probably and swing in. They purge War Boss here. It's probably time to block. And a Supreme Verdict. We'll block now. We had a nice board state. I'll say that. We'll attempt this Chandra. I expect a counter. Could even be counterbalance. Counterbalance. So we get hit for 4 and 4 here, I think, is all my opponent needs to do. Can also just Gear Hulk us. Air Moon. Thank you for the raid. Welcome. Hello, Nick Foster. Marin Moon. Who else has joined us from the raid? Jokovo? Jokovo? Hello. You've joined us on this not so great day. We're losing. Let's go ahead and jam another one here. More for practice and also to try the goblins one more time. But if they don't succeed again, I'll probably drop the league and see if we can tweak this back to more of the classic list. What's up, Zale? Uncle DB. Uncle DB's got them all. Woo! Look at all of them emotes. We're trying this aggro plan, but it's not really working. It's not working. We have to decide how we want to tackle this. I think that's a great example of even going very aggressive. Blue-white is a difficult matchup for us. They just don't get locked down very easily. I'm going to play this deck next week, except I have costs and more Chandras and Karns. So you're going to play more of a free win variant. This is just trying to jam as many goblins as we can. You can find my more maybe refined list in the challenge. All right, we're 0-3. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves a little bit here. We are. I can't say, like I said, I can't say Karn would have done anything different, but we can definitely for sure say this has not been a very good league for us. What do we got across from us? We have humans. All right. The last test, if you will. If I can't beat humans with this list, I'm doing something wrong, right? I have so many goblins, though. It's a bit of a problem. Okay, Thalia's here. Thalia is the card that slows us down. We will have to pass the turn. I cannot play anything. I could play a Chalice on 0. All right, opponent. I have 2 Slagstorm's main, which could come in handy here. I will need a 4th land to do any of that. Opponent attacks us for 3 with Thalia. All right. Let's go ahead and Rabble Master here. We're using Rabble Master. He's just going to be a roadblock. We do get to generate the token, so we'll have 2 roadblocks here. We do plan to block with Rabble Master. We do plan to block. We're trying to empty our hand ASAP. Let's go ahead and block. I think I'm just gonna Blood Moon here. I can actually splice, play and splice next turn and kind of play some extra stuff here. Here's where we'd be in a fine position to top deck, say, a Karn to go get a bridge. We do have 2. Chandra would be fine, as would just naturally drawing bridge. Champion, Mantis Rider. Woo! Hits for a ton here. Let's cast and splice additional spells. I think I can splice just for 2. Yeah. Nice. So that's 6 mana. This is 3 of it. And I'll put a chalice on 1 as well. We're really really needing that bridge here to have a shot here. Like I said, if I can't beat humans with our super aggressive list that will have a lot of angers sideboard, then this was a mistake. But I'm cool to admit mistakes happen. Reflector Mage bounces this. 3, 6, 7, 8. Bridge? No bridge. Alright. Unfortunately, for this matchup, we are going to need to drop a lot of our aggro package. We need to have angers, bridges. We don't really have the Karns helping us. We do have double Torp Orb, though. No, because I took that out. We're going to bring Koth in. It's a little bit of an oddball here. Gonna bring these in. Gonna get rid of those 2 Karns and then as many of the Rabble Master Effects as I can. Yep. Alright, we have 1 Torp Orb instead of 2 typically. We have a Koth that can help us get some generated mana. If it gets down early enough, it could win us the game. Bridges are necessary here. We are getting run over. It happens. It happens. We went full on aggro and it's hurting. Alright, we're gonna keep this. This is a turn 1 Blood Moon hand. I could also go a little bit deep here and play Chandra. They probably have Aether Vial, chat. They probably have Aether Vial. I'm gonna do this. I regret everything. I don't regret everything. It's alright. Alright. Little champion that we have to beat here. I'm cool with that. I think we'll be able to beat that. Blood Moon here. Champion's a 1/1. That's what we gotta beat. Shouldn't be a problem here. Let's go ahead and play our Krenko and pass turn. Our Krenko beats the champion here. Hand goes super wide. Oh! There we go. It might have been a few turns before we get the Chandra or Krenko online if we had played the other way. Apparently it would have been. Woo! Alright, run it back. Need that Blood Moon against this 5-color deck here. Alright, I have a turn 1 Chandra. I'm going to keep it. Although I have 2 Chandras, which is a little bit awkward. We're going to keep this, hope to draw a land. I'll get bridge behind this shortly. There's an Aether Vial. There we go. Up we go. We do skip over a mountain on the uptick with Chandra. I'm guessing I want to play probably bridge next. Unless they take it from me. This looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to steal this card from me. I do now have to down tick Chandra to get the goodies. I think in some ways I almost don't mind doing that, but this could end disastrously. Let's go ahead and do it though. I think I want my my bridge. We'll just hope it's like noble here, not champion. Cool. So if it's 2 more running nobles here, I'd be upset. They still can do it. Just needed the 1. Math is hard. Alright, so they can get under our bridge. They have 2 nobles here. Let's go ahead and get the bridge out in case they do have Thalia. We do have War Boss behind this, which can block champion, or sorry, noble hierarchs. So we have a shot at this. My opponent does have plenty of mana and an Aether Vial. Meddling Mage. Naming what? Anger, Abrade. Name Chandra. Name Chandra, chat. Why did they always name perfect cards? They name exactly what we're holding. Ooh. Spicy Island. Alright, I guess I'm going to go ahead and put this Chalice on 1 here. If I... I don't know. Maybe there's an argument to be attacking with more than just the token with both to clear off the Meddling Mage. Maybe I do that if I draw 1 more land. These noble hierarchs are bothering me though. I'm a little afraid to attack in and then just get jammed out here by a Thalia, the Mantis Rider. Now my plan's not as good here because the Mantis Rider's here. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's see if they want to. I highly doubt they will. They're probably just going to block and let the 2 damage through. Alright, let's play Void here. Let's take a peek. Blood Moon's not even that good right now. I'm going to go ahead and bottom Blood Moon. They're attacking with their nobles. I can't play the Chandras yet. I'd rather get something that kills the Meddling Mage. Blood Moon's not going to even shut that off because it would be on top of the deck. They can play everything because of these nobles and the Aether Vial. I just don't see any reason to really be trying to do anything fancy here. Brew Spy. Spy peoples. How are you fine people doing? Let's go ahead and attack in here. Make sure that on the off chance that this is Athalia's lieutenant here and they block with the Mantis, we'll be able to kill everything. Brew Spy. And this is why I think it would be better to name something like Anger Slagstorm, but what brews did we do today? There's Athalia's lieutenant. What brews did we do? Alright, let's play this Chandra. I'm probably just going to kill this. Two drop. Thalia's Lieutenant, round 2. Black, red, white, mid-range reanimator in cube. Playing the cube. Is that the vintage cube? Legacy cube? It's one or the other, right? Alright, let's play Koth here. Let's tick down. Play Chandra here. Tick down. Alright. Everything's at 1. Auriok champion here. Did a lot of Bazaar of Baghdad things. Very nice. That was a interesting choice. Meddling Mage naming. If they name something we're about to draw, then they'll get in. They'll get in for at least one. Can't name Mountain, sorry. Anger of the Gods has been named. It's probably a good one. Alright, let's tick here. Kinda wouldn't mind passing over an Anger of the Gods. I don't think I need to put another Chalice out there anywhere. So, I'm kind of wondering if a Reflector Mage could bounce a mountain, and if I have 2 lands, maybe Koth is not what I should be activating there. Maybe, maybe. Let's go ahead and play a Blood Moon here. Untap that mountain. Uptick, uptick, uptick. Pass the turn. We're almost there with Koth. Feels kind of good. Feels kind of good. Feels kind of good. Let's untap one of their lands. I don't want this weird Reflector Mage stuff happening to me. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about it. We can make their lands creatures. Need to avoid bad things happening to me. The other thing we have going on, I want to see what their record is. I'm asking them. I think they're 1-2. I'm 0-3. I can give them the. I can give it to them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think if I emblem this, I might just concede to them so that they can have a chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this would emblem and all that stuff. So we do 10 damage to them and then enough next turn. Oh! I tried to concede. You saw me click. We tried to do the right thing, chat. Look at this. Magic Online's breaking. Alright. Well, we got the W. Oh, yeah. We'll run it. We'll keep running it. They weren't in the know. They weren't in the know. It's alright. I tried to ask them. Tried to concede. Tried to do the right thing. Just didn't quite get there. So our Goblin list isn't really doing enough for us, although we beat a matchup that I seem to have trouble with when we play with Karn. This kind of intrigues me because Karn, we assumed, was maybe some of our faulting because he doesn't come down and destroy something immediately, typically. All that. And there, we did exactly just that. We just got things like Koth and Chandra instead. Alright. We might play a quick one here, and then we might re-up here for our league. So if we're like behind, we'll entertain that whole restarting the league. We'll play a little bit quicker here. If I ever play too fast, don't hesitate to ask questions. Questions are always welcome. What do we got on top? We have a Krenko. I'll put that on top. We're still going to go ahead and Chalice on 1 here. This does make Krenko a couple turns slower. That's okay with me. Chalice on 1 may be important enough, and I think we've been playing too loose. It's time to buckle down here and start winning some games. Time to start winning some games. Phyrexian Metamorph can go. That hasn't done anything in the sideboard. Yeah. Good game, chat. Should I just concede the next one so we go to game 3? Alright, we're going to bring in Eidolon's Bridge here. I'm going to bring Hazoret and Koth. I'm going to bring in a Phyrexian Metamorph. We're going to get rid of Karn here. We're going to get rid of Slagstorm. We're going to get rid of a Braid. We are going to get rid of probably 2 Krankos as well. My opponent's probably on Grixis Death Shadow or something else that Amet cares about. Chalice on 1. They could be a Phoenix deck, in which case I want the Moons out and I want the Angers in. But concede, not even show me anything. I think it's okay to Chalice on. Chalice on 1 and Blood Moon are probably good enough. Maybe good enough. Maybe not good enough. I don't know. We didn't see anything. I can't say. Cannot say. Okay, let's just keep this. We don't have too much to lose here. It'll help ramp out of Rabblemaster. My opponent's probably on like a Death Shadow or Phoenix. If they're on Phoenix, this hand doesn't do a whole lot. If they're on Death Shadow, it could do something. Windswept Heath. That's a bit of an interesting one. Thankfully, I drew a bridge. Okay, I didn't put him on Infect. I did not put him on Infect. We'll attempt to get Chandra out here and kill this Noble Hierarch. This will give us a little more time to get this bridge down. They could Spell Pierce this. Which maybe I'm okay with, because that means they have 3 cards that are not doing a whole lot, and it gives our bridge a chance. Blighted Agent plus something else. Play the Void here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to bottom Rabblemaster here. I'm going to go ahead and play a Rabblemaster and swing it in. I'd like to have Bridge with 2 mana open for Spell Pierce. If they have Might of Old Krosa, then maybe I should have played Bridge. If they have Might of Old Krosa, maybe I should have played Bridge. All right. A little bit of a change here. We're going to bring in Slagstorms and Angers here as removals. We're going to take this Phyrexian Metamorph. Hazoret, Koth out. 1 and 1 here. Bring War Boss, 1 Rabblemaster out. Still would have gotten through. Yes, but wouldn't have killed me. They would not have killed me. They would have been able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They would have been able to do 7 to me. Which maybe they were going to get there, so. Alright, we have a Blood Moon. We have a Chalice that we can put on 1. We have a lot of good things going for us here. This is going to be a fast one. And then we're going to revert the list back to a more traditional list that we've been playing lately and see if we can't play a little bit smoother. Basic Force is a little bit of annoyance. Let's go ahead and name Spirit here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this Chalice on 1 immediately. If I get a land here, I can probably Chandra and get rid of this Glistener Elf, which is maybe where I want to be. I could also just play War Boss. Could also play a Blood Moon and take them off blue. Blighted Agent is a problem card. They do have the Forest though, and they could play... never mind, they can't play Noble because of Chalice on 1. Inkmoth is maybe a reason to play Blood Moon next. I don't think this is going to kill me quickly enough. Land? That's countered. Okay, I don't like playing Blood Moon here as much because I didn't draw the land, but I do have an Anger. And I do have Eidolon I can technically play. I also don't mind this. Pendelhaven is shut off now. Deck list is a little bit different than what's listed there in Stream Deck. Alright, we'll play Eidolon here, pass turn. This should halt the brakes here on my Glistener Elf friend over there. Warboss is next, then Chandra. Eidolon, or Anger will be the last thing I play. Alright, we'll jam Warboss. It does send a token in. The tokens can get us there. I think we got it from Infect here. Double green could be a problem. We're actually just going to send the goblins in. I don't need them randomly pumping and killing Warboss here. I think we might have it though. We're gonna revert back to what that challenge list is. A little less goblin heavy. All right. So we finished the league 2 and 3. We get our last 2 games and win both of them. It's like a mini victory for us. We know we've got something here with this maybe goblin list. Maybe we can keep it going here. All right, let's take a quick glance at the list. I think I'm going to go back down the Chandra and add the pieces here. We're going to go back to a title that's representing. It's back to Karn, sounds good enough. Legion Warboss out, 1 Kranko out. I add 1 Braid. What else do I have here? This is 60. This looks about right. I need an extra Torp Orb here. Metamorph didn't do a lot. Koth I might want to entertain and Hazoret. What else did I have in the sideboard? Welding Jar and Tormod's Crypt. I didn't run into any graveyard decks, so maybe I don't do that. A lot of people have been talking to me about running a Witchbane Orb. Should I run a Witchbane Orb? Liquid Metal's here. We could run something like a Storm Breath instead of a Chroma. People like dragons, right? Storm Breath. The Angel's a little too high. We've died. A Chroma's for the blue-white matchup because we've been struggling a lot with the blue-white matchup. Grafdigger's Cage, I don't want that. Tormod's Crypt. There's a question mark. What about some land destruction? Is there land destruction in colorless? We could also go Molten Rains and stuff, but I don't think we need to go Molten Rains with our setup. I'd have a Koth, a Storm Breath, and a Hazoret for the blue-white matchup. Torp Orbs. I'm missing basically Liquid Metal and Tormod's Crypt if I go with this sideboard. I'm not displeased with that. And we've upped the Slagstorm in the main. This list is starting to look a little bit better. Oh, and everyone asked me why I have Caverns here, so let's just get rid of the Caverns. Who needs to play those? That's silly. We could play a few more of these Voids. Try those out instead. Those are cheaper. Those are cheaper, right? Let's go budgety a little bit, right, with the land base. Less targets for Field of Ruin. Ubamask is pretty decent. I don't know if I want that in the sideboard though. We did run into Phoenix Storm. Maybe? What time is it? Gotta watch my time. Bonfire? You want a Bonfire in the sideboard? What matchup is Bonfire coming in on? Could we play the Exile Graveyard land? The colorless one. Scavenger Grounds? We could do that instead of one of these voids. That is fine. Defense grid? I don't think defense grid's very good. Main deck bonfire over Slagstorm. So in order to do the same thing, we'll need 4 mana. You want to do 2 of them or 1 of them? 2 or 1 of these? Your choice, Mr. Jangles. We'll try it. I'm cool with some bonfire. We are an aggressive list. Kind of worried about this extra void now that we have the bonfire in here. For some weird reason. I've loved 1. Alright. 2 it is. Let's go. Oh no, I'm out of play points. I'm out of play points. No, chat. What has happened? What has happened? We're out of play points. Ray was right about the bonfire. I mean, bonfire definitely can be really good. It needs to be top decked. We need to be trying not to empty our hand. We need to be in a position where like 3 damage is going to matter. Typically in this deck, because that's about all we're going to be hitting for. I guess obviously the Slagstorm does the same to some degree, and we can hold it for a little bit longer. So there is that against it. But I'm cool with trying this. I'm cool with trying this. We could also try with Karn in this list and an Avaricious Dragon. We could go back to that kind of list. People get quite excited about that. Mind Spark. I don't know what that card does. Creature Elemental 3/2 first strike whenever an opponent casts a blue instant or source spell. Deals 2 damage. Alright, we're going to keep this. I think I'm going to ditch a land. I'm going to keep Scavenger Grounds just in case they are like a dredge list. We happen to have the Scavenger Grounds. Why not play just like Scab Clan? I guess Scab Clan doesn't always hit. The other thing I would think of when I see that is just play Eidolon. What are you doing over there, opponent? Let's go ahead and jam the Chalice on 1. This better not be the mirror. Better not be the mirror, chat. Hit. If it's the mirror, we're going to play Legion Warboss first. If it's the non-mirror, we'll play Kranko first. Ho-ho! Ho, chat. Here we go. I am underwhelmed. I am underwhelmed. So we're going to play Kranko here first. Obviously, we have the opportunity to play Karn. Against the mirror here, it's probably not presenting a very good clock or anything like that. We're going to do this, though. Maybe my opponent's mana flooded here. Blood Moons are awful in this matchup. Haha, they're playing an old list. Just kidding. Our list is never the newest. Promise. Attack for 2, opponent. You're not blocking. You're not blocking. Oh boy, they're blocking. Plays a Blood Moon. Turns off our Scavenger Grounds. This is all fine. Let's get in there with Kranko. Opponent is tapped out here. We're going to generate some tokens. I'm going to play Karn behind this. I don't really have a reason not to. My opponent does not play anything that direct damages Karn, so we can do this and go get Lattice. If I, or Liquid Metal Coating, sorry. If I whiff on the land, then we play Liquid Metal Coating. If I don't whiff on the land, we play Lattice behind this and win. Legion Warboss. Okay. Okay. I think we still play Lattice here. I think we win this race. I'm going to block 1 and then another over here. Just the 1. I think that's a little bit of a mistake, but I think they're trying to offer to kill Kranko here. All right, so we pick up another Karn here. I think it's just going to be liquid metal coating at this point. Let's make this an artifact here briefly. I am going to play into this whole shenanigans my opponent's done because I'm going to generate so many tokens behind this. We are going to attack with both of these because this one's going to get in for 1. I am going to generate 3 tokens behind this though. If they double block, that's fine. I think Krenko wins the race anyway. Oh, I didn't reorder those. That's fine. I don't think we're going to need to kill War Boss to win the game. We have our own. That might have been a slight punt with reordering the cards. It's okay. It's okay, chat. We're gonna survive. We're gonna survive. I don't expect them to attack with both here. The Spirit Guide doing lots for the opponent? They are. They are. Chat can keep me honest too on that punt. Unless you guys just love me. I know a lot of you guys love me over there. I feel your hearts. I think this is a mistake here. They abrade my liquid metal coating. Obviously they don't want to get buried in card advantage. I still think it's a bit of a mistake though. I do not have a way to get rid of my graveyard here, unfortunately. Go ahead and Chandra tick down. Kill this. Swing in with all 3 of these, because I'm going to pump this up 1. Looking for that land. Next turn we have it anyway with Chandra, so maybe that's a reason to keep one of these back. I don't think I particularly care if they Rabble Master and pick off Chandra though. Alright, we got it. Opponent is aware of it too. Okay, so we're against the Mirror. The Mirror is a frustrating matchup, but we can win it. We do reasonably frequently. We're bringing a pair of Angers. We're going to bring in our Eidolons because we're going to go this route against my opponent. I do have Koth and Hazard here, which is kind of interesting. Blood Moons are bad here. Bonfire is pretty good. Braids are going to be necessary. I'm going to ditch a bridge, and I'm going to ditch 1 Karn, I think. I kind of want to get this other Anger in here. I don't feel like bridges are that good. Chalice isn't very good either. Chalice isn't very good, although if you get the Karn lock, you can pretty much really lock it out with a Chalice on 2. I can go get that, though. Let's keep 1 Karn in still, then. 9 and 8. Bring 1 more Anger in here. It's probably where we want to be. Blood Moon's out, 1 bridge and Chalice out. 2 bridges are okay to spike main. I don't want to bring the Storm Breath in. It doesn't do enough behind the bridge. My opponent also has their own bridges, so a raid is necessary. I am on the draw here. I'm going to get rid of the Scavenger Grounds and bring in 1 of these bridges. This is like slightly risky to do, but I'm gonna hedge my bets here. I'm gonna hedge them against the Mirror. When we're on the play, we'll bring Storm Breath back in and probably 1 bridge out. Hedging our bets. Losing too. Mulligan. Alright, we'll keep this. I have 2 Karns here, not great. We'll put the Rabble Master on top. I'm going to be using Void here. Opponent has a Welding Jar. It's a good card. I'll put the Legion Warboss on top as well. We have a turn, I guess we technically have a turn. Just a 3. Oh boy. That's not very good for us. Liquid metal coating. All right. We do have sort of outs around this. It's gonna hurt though. This is pretty good though. The Abrade is no longer online. I assume they go after this mountain. I think we're locked out here. What I can do is wait a turn or two and see if I get some Simian Spirit Guides. But we're pretty close to locked out here. But not totally. Remember, my opponent does have to do something too. If we would have played the mountain first, then maybe I would have been okay, because I would have had an Eidolon at least on board. Are we in the 5-0 club with this sweet deck? What does that mean, the 5-0 club? What does the 5-0 club mean? I'm also not about to give up here. So I can make them burn this welding jar. I can also wait and see if I can't get Simian Spirit Guide plus something going on here. We're gonna hold. Because they're just gonna welding jar this. I'm gonna see if my opponent has something else for me here. We have 5-0 to several with this list. All right, opponent. Sequencing for my opponent leaves a little bit to be desired. I think at this point we're dead here. I'm gonna just see what my top is. I'm gonna see one more. But I think we're dead here. Yeah, all right. So my opponent having a Rabble Master here, they just keep us to one land. It is fantastic. I would agree. Okay, we're gonna bring this land back in. That looks like it's gonna be needed. Bonfire is still not a bad idea here. I'm gonna take one Eidolon out. It's a little harder to cast than I thought it was gonna be. I don't see myself putting Chalice on 0 to protect against Karn liquid metal coating. I just don't. Seems silly. All right. I think our opponent did demonstrate, though, why this list can be super powerful. We're going to mull this. It's 6 lands and an Anger. All right. This is close. It's close. I'm a little tempted not to, though. If my opponent does something busted, then we're behind. So let's mulligan again. All right. This hand I can kind of keep here. This Bonfire is weak, but maybe we'll get enough lands to make it worthwhile. Hazard's actually a pretty good draw. All right, Gemstone for my opponent. Gets rid of a Desperate Ritual. That's not a very good sign here. Land. Dragon's Claw. All right, we're gonna go ahead and bust out this Rabble Master. My opponent's at 2 cards here. I don't think you bring in Dragon's Claw against our list. That being said, they could have land and Anger here. I'll then need running lands to get Hazard online, but Hazard should be pretty good. Even if he doesn't get to attack, he'll be able to activate. Go. Goblins coming in. Bonfire's not going to do too much here. Abrade's Rabble Master, that's fine. Running lands would be nice. Perfect lands. Let's find one more on top. Need that last land on top. I'll take a ritual. I'll take a land. Take a Simian Spirit Guide. Thank you. I'm going to leave the bonfire in hand in case my opponent decides to go all goblin crazy and they have lots of sweet, sweet tokens that I have to get around. We'll probably want to bonfire. Case in point, there's a Rabblemaster. I can leave this goblin back to defend Rabblemaster for one turn while I get enough mana for bonfire. We are going to slam Hazoret though. Let's yield the Dragon Claw. And I am going to attack here. I'm pretty safe from something going completely awry here for at least a turn. I get in for 5 probably. My opponent's still on 2 lands. So they've kept Dragon's Claw and 2 lands. And it looks like maybe the Abrade. Just kind of trying to win off of that. If they have removal for a Goblin, they have removal. And then if they top deck a land or something. There's a land. One's going to swing with some stuff here. I will be blocking Rabblemaster at least this turn. Bonfire does some work. Slagstorm would do the same in this scenario. In fact, it's actually a little bit harder to do Bonfire here. We happen to draw it enough. But I just want to make that note that Slagstorm would be doing the same. I actually need 5 mana to do this instead of 3 when it gets stuck in hand. If it was a Miracle, obviously it's a little more, and it does 4. But just a small nuance. It's really hard to kill 2/2 creatures like that. What do we got at 4 mana, opponent? We have Karn. Karn go get Bridge or something? Probably. I probably have to kill Karn here. Well, I don't want to jam my own Bridge here. So, gotta kill Karn. Gotta respect that. Opponent's gonna probably play Bridge here. No other spells. We're going to ditch our Bridge. I'm looking for Chandra or... Wouldn't even say a Rabblemaster is very good here. Even though the token gets under. Just kidding. Oh, that's a card. That's a card. 5 more turns. 1 more turn. 1 more turn. Oh. I was gonna say quite a top deck. They told me nice. Whew. What were we running? Backup Anger wouldn't have been bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awkward. Probably would not have gotten to enough mana. Hazoret is pretty decent in the mirror. Krenko is actually okay in the mirror. We would have been a little bit tighter there in game 1 if I would have done some correct things. At the same time, you got to see Karn and Liquid Metal and see why that is also good in not just the mirror, but any and all matchups. Let's say Karn was on turn 1. It's pretty busted. Pretty busted. One thing that I would hope is if it comes to the point where they ban Lattice, I'd be very disappointed because that's kind of a way to finally get us to a quicker win than going, hey, I need a Chandra Emblem. I would probably still play Karn because it's a Stony Silence and it still tutors out some artifacts that we could really use in game 1. Just keep that in mind when you're hearing the rumors about whether or not things are spicy or not. We're going to keep this. This is an extreme amount of pressure here. It's a turn 1 Rabblemaster, turn 2 Warboss, which means a turn 3 kill. We'll go for it. We're going to scry as well here. Ooh. What's the rationale for the Koth in the board? My gosh, do I keep Krenko too? I'm going to bottom Krenko. I think I got some magical stuff. We're just trying Koth. We're returning a little bit. It'll be brought in for the blue-white matchups. A few other matchups, I suppose. The reason for bottoming Krenko is if we don't hit a land behind Krenko for a little bit anyway, it's going to just delay it. I'd rather just slam this in and go for it. My opponent bolts my Rabblemaster. I kind of don't want to get bolted again. I kind of think it's okay, though. I don't imagine they'll have another bolt, right? They can't have 2 in a row. I've seen lists play in 2 coding main. Do you think it is ever good as your current configuration? I would not play a coding main. I don't think coding main's a good idea. All right, so we're against Jund, it looks like. I think coding main is just trying to get super lucky with it. No one has ever had 2 bolts before. Legion Warboss doing things. Opponent can't attack with Tarmogoyf. Their Bob in hand's not very good. Scavenging News is alright, but it's only going to eat 1 thing. Treetop Village tapped. There's a Scavenging News. So we're not going to attack with 2 extra things, because if we attack with everything, then we kind of awkwardly don't do much. Opponent will fetch a basic forest here. This doesn't mean they have triple or double black yet. Bloodbraid Elf is a thing. Liliana's great off of Bloodbraid Elf. So Jund is a great matchup for Hazoret, by the way. So we're going to discard a card. I hate where we're at right now. I guess Bloodbraid Elf's coming in, and Tarmogoyf, Scavenging News is probably staying back. They don't do anything. That's interesting. So there's Karn. You gotta attack Liliana, sure. Alright, so we're very, very far behind now. Our aggressive line has not proven to be a victorious line here. Inquisition doesn't do anything. Raging Ravine. Up with Lily? Could go down. If they go down, they can kind of attack with everything. Pretty safely, too. Tarmogoyf bonus. Discards our Karn. Yeah, Lily really gets us sometimes. I'm not gonna block here at the moment. Kinda need another land. A Blood Moon's actually not terrible. Scavenging News should eat something here to become a 3/3. So Blood Moon's not terrible. It turns off the two lands that are a problem. Obviously Lily's getting up to 6/7 here, and I never can get through. At this point we're probably have lost here. I don't have really anything that could kill this. Bonfire's not that great here. It would delay Lily by 2 turns, but I'm not seeing myself out of this. Ouch. I think at this point I would down tick Lily and just swing for the fences. Alright, let's see what our top deck is. I guess a bridge gives us a turn. No. Bonfire doesn't do enough here. It kills exactly Bloodbraid Elf, and then we die on the crackback. because this eats. That would be 10 over here plus 6. All right. So we've approached this matchup a couple different ways. I've sent it straight back. I've also sent it straight back with things like Spyglass still in the sideboard, Liquid Metal Coating, Tormod's Crypts, other things. We don't have those, so I think we have to be a little more aggressive. I'm going to bring in Eidolons. I'm actually going to take the bridges out. My opponent's going to bring in a lot of stuff that has artifact removal, so let's kind of swap that. I actually don't mind an Anger necessarily. I like these hazards, and I kind of like the Storm Breath as well. Braids are probably okay too. Barnfire. I'm thinking Bonfire is actually too difficult. I still think I want this Anger though. What else do I want in here? I like all my creatures. Maybe I'm not supposed to go as high on the Eidolon count. I have a bit of a bigger top end here. So Eidolon out. Alright, let's try the Bonfires. I have mixed emotions about what I can do here. I have a lot in the 4 slot now, and I have a 5th slot, so I need all my ritual effects. Blood Moon is great here, but only if we find it here on turn 1, turn 2, probably. My opponent could also just have the basics. I do have an aggressive board, but we saw how that worked out for me. Alright, we'll keep this. Hydration Bot, what's up? Stopping by. We'll bottom that Gemstone Cavern. Alright. We have enough mana to cast everything, which is kind of an important thing. I'm expecting a basic Swamp here and an Inquisition. If they don't have a removal, they might just take War Boss with another Inquisition or something following it up for Blood Moon. This hand's kind of banking on drawing some of our top end here. Ritual Effect would be nice. No Ritual Effect. Alright. Opponent knows about everything but Karn. I'm expecting a basic forest here. They might Tarmogoyf. They might also just Inquisition Thoughtseize me. Dark Confidant's an interesting one. Alright, so we're gonna Blood Moon here. Make sure they don't get that double swamp going on. They have a Lightning Bolt. This is a card that does great things. Great things. Liliana tick up. Gemstone. So with the Dark Confidant already here, it makes it a little bit awkward trying to get something going with this Karn. They have the Bolt as well. If I do Karn tick down, I'm not sure what I'm getting. This is where if I had the Spyglass, it definitely would help us. I might wait one turn here and see if I can spike one more land. If I'm down ticking, this is killing Karn probably. Maybe it's just worth it to try. And I'll go get a bridge here. I could also attempt to get Lattice here. Basically any land though. It's kind of bad. Bonus Liliana. They could just attack here and double Liliana. Uptick, get rid of one. Uptick, get rid of another. And Bolt Karn? I think I would do that. Oh gosh. Inquisition takes bridge. Bolt gets rid of Karn here. Dark Confidant gets in. We're going to discard this ritual effect. I prefer the land in play. Alright, we'll play Simian Spirit Guide, but I think we're way behind on Jund now. Having that extra basic swamp really kind of hurt us. Bloodbraid Elf, revealing Inquisition. Inquisition doesn't hit anything here. Inquisition has no target to pick off. They might just down tick here and swing for 5. We have no main deck bridges because we thought we'd try an aggressive approach. Say I hit Hazard here, I swing Hazard, and they have a Liliana behind this. Rabble Master, I guess, isn't terrible. Go ahead and pick off Liliana just for 1. We have Lily plus Unknown card across from us. Now we have Tarmogoyf. I think if I were them, I'd just down tick Lily, play new Lily, down tick Lily, and play Tarmogoyf. This play totally makes sense to me. And play Tarmogoyf. I think we're just dead here. You can play Tarmogoyf. Alright. That's 5 damage. That puts us to 1. We drew a land. And the Chalice. So we had no removal coming. None whatsoever. Oh well. We'll keep it going. Keep on moving forward. We have 3 leagues left. 3 league matches. Not leagues. 3 matches left for tonight. If you are enjoying yourself, you're brand new, got in on one of those raids from Moon or Bruce Spy, and you're enjoying our fast-paced Pyro Prison, Red Prison, Karn Prison, Chandra Prison lists, this is what we typically do here, and a follow would be most appreciated. We do play some interesting things, and I do have an Ojutai list that I'm supposed to play. I am waiting for said Ojutai list. We may do that on Friday, and last Friday we played Cat Tribal. Playing some of that Cat Tribal. Bruce Spy, yeah, that hype. Alright, let's play first. It is a turn 1 moon. It's very hard to pass up. I think I'm going to try for it. If my opponent is mono red, it will be a most upsetting turn 1 blood moon. But it is difficult to pass up here. Basic swamp from my opponent and a Thoughtseize. Well, let's hope they're not 8-rack. You have plenty of time to get rid of that Karn, so I would take one of these if I was them. Probably the bridge. Bridge is gone. I will need to hit some lands here. That is not a land. Our Blood Moon isn't doing a whole lot here. Black-green X nonsense? Possibly. Possibly. Although, what would we bring in? You could bring in, or you could have a welding jar. Oh my gosh. Blood Moon is doing nothing. Gideon. This is the Gideon of the Trials. He's going to make an emblem. Rabble Master's looking okay. If I can get him down. The answer is no. By the way, our Blood Moon is doing nothing so far. Oh my gosh. Blood Moon. Please. Oh my gosh. What is this? Which one do I want to kill? Let's go ahead and destroy this artifact. That one does more. Spyglass and welding jar exactly? Yeah. We've kind of dropped the spyglass for other cards, hedging our bet that we won't run into said problem cards. All right, we're gonna play a war boss here. I think I'm just gonna tag Gideon here for one. I have to kill Gideon to kill their life total here, so I think this is okay. Any creature here and crewing up Copter is gonna be a problem. Land. Here's the first land that doesn't matter. I am kind of nice seeing that my opponent did not have necessarily an immediate answer. These goblins, as long as none of them get pathed here, should get Gideon. Let's do it this way. I will mentor one of the ones attacking Gideon, so we kill Gideon. Get him 1 point of damage at them. Why is it better to play War Boss than Rabble? That's preference. I don't have anything in my hand, opponent. I like making 2/2s in some cases. My opponent's deck typically has a lot of strange X2 creatures or X1 creatures. So having some 2/2s is not a bad idea. I'm gonna slam straight into this Settle, I think. Actually, no. Let's play around Settle the Wreckage. I think I can safely play around Settle the Wreckage for a turn. We would have killed them, but if they had settled, then we'd be really far behind. So, Declaration in Stone. Extra Blood Moon here. Now that they only have one white up, I'm gonna go ahead and slam in with everything here. I just like making 2/2s. There's Goblin Rabble Master is probably more damage quicker. The other reason to lead with Legion Warboss is if you think they have a path or something like that, they're more likely to play it on Warboss, so you value Rabble Master a little bit higher. That's another reason. Alright, Stormbreath, Koth, Hazard are going to come in here. I'm thinking Anger is probably reasonable as well. I'm thinking it is. I'm almost kind of regretting the Blood Moon. I'm going to take 2 Blood Moons out. I think Chalice is fine. I'm going to take a Bridge out. A Braid might matter. Bonfire might matter. Chalice might matter. Let's kind of trim things here. Let's trim some stuff. That's the game. So Rabble is the high risk, high reward, and Warboss is the long play. Yeah. I will say that if you're playing against Tron, Warboss is better. In most cases, if you think you're going to just run straight into a turn 3 natural Tron. So here I'm going to slam like Warboss. Maybe they'll path it, maybe they won't. My opponent didn't Inquisition or Thoughtseize initially. Rabble can, yes. Rabble gets bigger. Beefier. Alright, I'm kind of just... kind of okay with just like maybe just sitting on this Abrade here. Let's just sit on this Abrade here. My opponent didn't Thoughtseize. Didn't do anything turn 1. Lingering Souls, that's fine. I'm gonna crew this up, and I'm gonna get rid of it. Let's just not waste time here. Destroy artifact. Boom. Goodbye. Alright, right. Warboss next. Here's a good example of why Warboss is a little bit better. Although this token might die to said Spirit Equipper there. If I do attack with War Boss, it makes 2/2s. Mentored. So then all your 2/2s are nice against a token strategy. Not saying I put them on tokens. I did not. Oath of Kaya. Deals 3 to any target and you gain 3. Whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control with one or more creatures, Oath of Kaya deals 2 damage to that player and you gain 2 life. Whoa, opponent. That's some spiciness. That's some spiciness. Alright, we're going to jam out War Boss again here. And swing away. There's an argument to going ahead and putting this Chalice on 0. I might consider doing this. I kind of like doing that. We can avoid Path and Inquisition and Thoughtseize now. These may matter. If they Path War Boss, that's fine. Gets us closer to Karn plus Lattice. We do have Spirits to contend with. Spirits to contend with. They allow Chalice to resolve. Declaration in Stone was a thing they had. We have Lingering Souls here in the yard. Cast Lingering Souls. Cast Heart of Kieran. I don't know how I feel about that card. It is a crew 3. It's actually not a bad draw here. So I'm going to swing with everything here. Mainly because if they decide to double block Legion War Boss, then they can't actually crew this at the moment. Decided it's not worth it here. Let's go ahead and Karn. I think I just go get a bridge this turn, and then next turn play bridge, following turn Karn plus something, and then maybe we're at Lattice territory. By the way, this can't be activated now. It's kind of interesting. Karn's gonna die. Oh yeah. Got a little frisky there with all 4. Wrath of God behind that. Interesting. So this would have won it if they didn't have the Wrath of God. You know what? Just for you, I'm gonna fire this off. Boom, 4 damage. All right, that was a good turn. Good turn. The goodest of turns. Shambling Vent. It's for 2, gains 2. It's not a bad play for my opponent. It's not a bad play. Alright. We hit a land. I'm going to go ahead and bridge. Our plan here is hopefully hit one more land and then Karn bridge again, and then Lattice right behind it. Lingering Souls. Might be many Lingering Souls. It appears that is the case. 1, 2, 3. We'll Anger. No real reason to play Karn there. Playing Karn just gets Karn killed. Now if I had that Darksteel Citadel in the sideboard, then we'd have something. Let's go ahead and Karn again. And let's go get Liquid Metal Coating. And then on their upkeep, we'll turn some black mana off here. This is where I think our deck stands the best here with Karn and Liquid Metal. This is kind of our little bit of a lock piece, these two pieces. I'm a little bit of afraid to slam a Lattice with my opponent potentially having something that that messes it up. I think I'm just gonna slowly take them off everything. I'm afraid of playing Lattice and they just Declaration Stone. It doesn't really stop us too much because then we'd have a Lattice out, but having Karn around is kind of a big deal for these two vehicles. So we don't need to rush the Lattice. Besides, it's a win without Lattice. And Wizards is watching Lattice. Deck is sorcery. This deck? It's doing better than our 50 million Rabble Masters that we just played. Our 50 million Rabble Masters. Charge! Declaration Stone sorcery. Fair enough. They could have had Disenchant. They could have had Disenchant. They can have other cards that are instant speed. I just have to know to play around them. Yep. All right. Match number 4. We have match 4 and match 5 left here in the evening hours. Let's see what we can do. That's creepy. Word of Command. Some creepy avatars. All right, we have an Abrade. We have 2 lands. We have a little bit of everything. Need the 3rd land. Chandra's a little bit out there. I think we'll keep. I think we can keep. Wooded Foothills for my opponent. No play behind it. Go ahead and play our own mountain here and pass turn. Fetching, maybe basic forest. Blood Crypt. Hopefully they're not a graveyard strategy. This looks Jund-like. Hopefully they're not a graveyard strategy. Alright, we get hit for 1 Creeping Chill so far. We have an okay 7 for this. I have the Abrade to take care of a Shriekhorn if they were to play that. I have some Rabble Masters. I can Blood Moon out so they don't keep getting things back with Life from the Loam. There's a Faithless Looting. Looks like that's what they're going to go after here. I could really use my Angers. Bonfire's not going to do as much here. A couple Life from the Loams. There's an Archamoeba. 1 Prized Amalgam. All this is coming back. All this magical stuff is coming back here. Even if we were to get the Rabble Masters down, this Confligate is over here. Confligate. We'll let Prized Amalgam come back here. I'm going to go ahead and kill Prized Amalgam. At least it doesn't attack us too quickly. We'll play Blood Moon here past turn. We're doing this so that they can't really Life from the Loam. Kind of cycle to get a big Confligate. They do hit another Creeping Chill and a pair of Narcomoebas. You can also see our bridges aren't going to be very good here. Thursday is go. Thank you for the raid. How are you people from the future? From the future, from Thursday. How are them Thursday people? By the way, that's like 3 in a row for the raids. Here we be. The Squid Fire. I beat you on Amulet the other night. Thursday raid. We're about to get toasted here, by the way. There's our graveyard card. Alright, so I could play Bridge. Doesn't do anything. I play Chandra. Doesn't do anything. I have these cards in hand. They have one of these in the graveyard chat. So we can concede. Nice one-up draw. Blood Moon's in play, though. And even if it wasn't, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage coming across. A little bit too late, you're right. A little bit. It's good to have that card in the main, though. Alright, Angers, Koth, Hazoret here. Torp Orbs. Take Karn out. I think Braids aren't doing a whole lot here. Probably get rid of a pair of Blood Moons. If I do that, I can bring a Bridge in. I can bring Eidolons too. Eidolons tend to hurt me though more. Thinking about this swap here. Liquid Metal Coating and Lattice are probably too far up the road for these. Eidolon hurts me. I think I like everything else. I do like a couple Blood Moons, but I want to be more aggressive here. Angers to reset their board. Bridges to hide behind, although that's like plan C here. Our plan A here is to have Goblins, Hazarets, Chandras, War Bosses, all of it. Blood Moon turns off Life from the Loam, cycling through, and that's kind of a key card to keep Confligate in check, because otherwise their hand size gets to like 8, 9 easily. Pressure is where we want to be here. You could argue I take the Bridges out and put Eidolons in, but because they have so many Creeping Chills, they'll gain some of that life back, and they're not really casting cards half the time, it seems. A lot of it's just kind of coming from the graveyard, so they can avoid our Eidolons as well. I think it hurts us more. I think it does. I could be wrong. This matchup's going to be extremely hard here without graveyard hate. We did state we were just kind of going to go for it at the beginning of the stream. Smiley face. Alright, I'm going to keep it. We have the Scavenger Grounds. We have a turn 2 War Boss. I'm probably War Boss Scavenger Grounds. Hope they haven't hit too much by then. Maybe I'm bonfiring to clear a couple X1s and then looking to do something. My kind of hope is that they have something that's like Nature's Claim or something. I want to keep this active though if I can. I got to get through 2 turns here though. This is a good spike, one of. Maybe I'm supposed to have a few more of these. I don't know. Faithless Looting? Streetcorn? Nothing? Oh. You remembered. Hello. Goodbye. Alright. Here, we will Rabble Master first. They're unlikely to have, in my opinion, unlikely, but not impossible, to have a bolt. Now we're going to have the Scavenger Grounds. We might just let Rabble Master go to town here and keep the Scavenger Grounds active. My opponent did not dredge there, so that's kind of key. Maybe they have a bunch of Bloodghasts. That'd be awkward. Stinkweed plus Prized Amalgam might be enough to go ahead and put the Scavenger Grounds in and not play War Boss. I think that's where I might be. Land. Mountain. Faithless Looting, getting Stinkweed. And a life from the loam. We're very lucky they didn't hit anything. To get back the prize amalgams and the blood ghasts and all that. I guess blood ghast isn't coming back right away. Confligate is a thing and a reason I'll stop on their draw step next turn. So we're definitely gonna play Scavenger Grounds out. I think it's actually potentially just worth it to fire this off and make them naturally draw. Yeah. We're gonna do this now. The only reason to wait is trying to get a little extra value like a Creeping Chill, but we have a little bit of a board presence and I don't want them to pick up the Dark Blast or something like that. I feel like they set everything up with that Faithless Looting. By setting all of that up, I think that Scavenger Grounds was a good ace there, especially with our board presence. And here's where the board presence mattered, right? The board presence makes them not want to continue playing or concludes the game fast enough so that they don't just beat us out. So we're going to run it back. Obviously, my Scavenger Grounds is going to be a little bit later if we do end up having it in the opening 7. But if it's not in the opening 7, then we're going to just need aggro, aggro, aggro. And try to go around my opponent. This is actually okay too. We'll keep kind of awkwardly. I can put a Chalice on 1. That'll do a few things. And this Anger could really reset my opponent. All that being said, I will definitely need them reset. And hopefully they get quite a few things in, but not attack with them. There's a lot that needs to go right here in game number 3. There's a life from the loam. Bonus Anger is actually not a bad pickup here. Extra Chalice. Okay, some people might be asking, why did I put the Chalice on the top? We're going to Chalice on 1 next turn because we won't have any ritual type effect. And then we're going to go probably Anger, whatever the board state's going to be here. By also putting a Chalice on 1, oh, looks like they have an Ancient Grudge here. So we'll just have to see if they want to get rid of our Chalice on 1 with their Ancient Grudge. The idea here is I could put a Chalice on 2 as well and start to lock some stuff out. A couple turns away from doing that though. I'm trying to kind of avoid playing the Blood Moon if I can. Blood Moon obviously shuts off the life from the loam that they drudged back last turn. So they do flash back this to kill the Chalice on 1. So I get to play another Chalice on 1 behind this. The Blast Zone. Playing an interesting game with my opponent here. I have a Desperate Ritual. What is that doing for me? And why would they want this on 1? Alright. I'd like to have kept this going, but I'm going to play Blood Moon here. I'm going to give them the opportunity to use whatever on 1 here with claims or anything like that. We turn off Life from the Loam. Now, their graveyard is clearly got some good stuff going on in it, but they're not necessarily beating us at this moment. I'm trying to think if I should put this Chalice on 1 or on 2. I'm going to go ahead and stick it on 1 here. Stops Faithless Looting. There's 2 Cathartic Reunions already in the bin. Stops Shriekhorn as well. So like there's a Faithless Looting there. We have double Anger here, so maybe we can do something with that. My opponent uses this on the Faithless Looting. This is counter because of Chalice on 1. Converted mana cost is still that of the card. Plays a land. Probably see a couple things come back here. Question is it enough to fire off one of these angers? It might be. I probably don't want to take like any damage if I can. I have the backup one anyway. So we'll go ahead and anger these first two away. Pass it on back. There's another prize amalgam. Shriekhorn, but that was on one. No spells for my opponent. Let's go ahead and just play a Torpor Orb here. This will actually prevent prize amalgams from coming back, which is kind of nice. We can save our anger a little bit here. That Chalice on one really mattered to my opponent. Let's see if they ever get another Ancient Grudge here or something. I guess if they got an Ancient Grudge, they're not going to be able to tag it from the yard. So there's a single Bloodghast. We'll see if they have the land to bring it back. I don't think I fire this anger off for a single Bloodghast. I go to cleanup step as well. Alright, I guess I'll put this on two. It's not a bad card to have on two, I suppose. If they have the Ancient Grudge right here, then they get to kill the Chalice on one. They decide to kill the Torpor Orb. I think that's a bit of a mistake, but they're planning to get this Bloodghast back and then get some prized amalgams, probably hoping that Stinkweed hits something big here. And we also kind of hope it hits a few big things here. They might also be trying to just draw a land naturally. It looks like they don't have a land. What are we looking at 4 here? 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we've slowed our opponent down quite a bit. Confligate for 1. All right, a little nudge there. Little nudge. 2, 3. I'm gonna continue to play the lands in case I top deck a bridge. I kind of want to have most of the hand out of here. So I have a feeling we're gonna be tagged for about 7 here. And they're gonna ditch some critters. There's our bridge we talked about. We'll go ahead and play that. Now their creatures won't kill us. I'm guessing they actually have most of their creeping chills in hand and they can't cast them because we shouldn't usually win against dredge like this. But it looks like with enough chalices and stuff, we did lock our opponent out. The one anger at the beginning was good. We had a bonus anger here as well. We had a Chandra coming up. That was good. That was good. All right, we're 3-1 here. I'm going for the 4-1 final match of the night. And not bad. We tried a goblin variation. Went 2-3 very quickly. We're reverting back to this with Bonfire. I'm not convinced. Bonfire was actually difficult to cast so far. But we're really minimizing what Karn is going to fetch. Liquimetal. Lattice for just the finish. Bridge as just an extra way to go get bridge because it can be useful. And I can say Torpor Orb. I could see Spyglass in here or Walking Ballista as well. But it's difficult to say. Alright. Let's keep this hand. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a ritual. We're going to keep it. Chalice on 1 could be very good against our opponent. Chalice on 2 might also be important. We'll see. And we're kind of keeping it because maybe we can do something really broken off the top. Loose hand. Final match. Experimentation. Snow-covered island kind of indicates something like Thing of the Ice. But instead of worrying about that, let's just do something hopefully broken here. We'll go get Karn. I'm going to hope for no bolt from my opponent. Let's choose an artifact. Yes, please. Liquid metal, pass turn. We'll see if my opponent has something like a bolt. My opponent opts. Opte. Now, if we put him completely on Storm, we could have put a Chalice on 2. It is hard for me to do that, though, off of a Scalding Tarn. It's very hard for me to convince myself that my opponent is a Storm deck off Scalding Tarn. We have an Arc-like Phoenix here. It's pretty good. Let's go ahead and see what's on top of the deck. I've never heard of that sound before. That was so peaceful. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of this red mana here. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and jam the Chalice on 1 here. Hope for no Spell Pierce. They haven't done a Spell Pierce yet. I'd be a little surprised if this was a Spell Pierce. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an opt. I think this would have been Spell Pierced. This might be enough. We'll see. We'll see. They have to have running Manamorphoses, I guess. They have to have land Manamorphose and a few other cards here. They're opting now. Put a card on the bottom, so they're drawing a random card. So this coming turn, now that we have a Chalice on 1 and we're not afraid of, say, a Bolt, if they don't get more than this land, I can go get an Anger just on the off chance that they somehow get this Phoenix going and use the Liquid Metal to turn off some lands over there. And probably a consideration here. The other thing is I can just keep going up with Karn if they don't have a land here, because we've kind of locked them down. This is a matchup I would want, like, say, a Trinisphere in, but we do have Eidolon, so we're going to go aggressive here on this matchup. Alright, Eidolons are going to definitely come in here. I think Hazard, Stormbreath, and Koth. I think Angers are reasonable as well. We'll cut one of these to Bonfires. Yeah, it's a lock. Blood Moons. Chalice is fine. All of our creatures are okay. I think I can do one more bridge out that brings an Anger in. Can I get the other Angers in? Let's cut Krenko here. Krenko's a little bit slow. So we're dividing between a little bit of the Angers and a little bit of the Ensnaring Bridges. Again, a matchup that I probably should just have a Tormod script in the sideboard. I haven't decided. Do I like the 4 Eidolons with the idea of I'm hedging a little bit towards blue-white, knowing that any graveyard strategies I might struggle against? It's a hedge. Very conclave for my opponent. Alright, we're going to try to put a Chalice on 1. Behind Chalice on 1, we're going to try to smash face. We'll see how many Abrades and Bolts they have. We'll see, opponent. Serum Visions. Let's see what they set up on the top of the deck. By the way, we got rewarded for having the Chalice in a busted turn 2. Got awarded greatly. Alright. I will attempt this Chalice on 1. Spell Pierce stops Desperate Ritual anyway, so this gets one more card out of my opponent's hand. Even if they have bolts following this to kill War Bosses and Rabble Masters, they've got to do that for a long time. Let's see if they have the counter. I'm expecting it. No counter feels pretty good, actually. Alright. So the person that was asking, what would you play first? It's definitely going to be Rabble Master, because I have 3 of them. I'm going to jam some Rabble Masters. That being said, though, if you had 1 and 1, I'd probably lead with War Boss. You're liking my chances? Well, they could have just abraded it. What is this? What are you doing? What are you doing? Boomerang, Kevin. Thank you for the follow. All right, let's get churning here. We're gonna play so many Rabble Masters. So many. Follower hype. Heck yeah. Follows are always welcome. We have a Conclave over here. I'm not really sure what my opponent is up to. Oh my gosh. I think we're sideboarding. Oh. Okay. Well then. I think I want to kill Young Pyro now. I think I want to kill that dude. Let's see if I can get in here for damage. They're going to opt. I get to do a little bit of this. This is... I'm kind of glad that I have that Chalice on 1 now. I have a feeling they'll have a lot of 1-mana spells. We're going to go ahead and abrade this. Go ahead and abrade it now. They're gonna get a little 1/1 here. 1 mana, 1/1. I like the abrade here, and I like getting rid of the Pyromancer. Mainly because this with Jeskai Ascendancy seems like it would go completely insane. Could they have stacked so that the 1/1 came in before? Cast an extra spell. Here's your control. Get +1/+1 until end of turn. Yes. Yes, they could have. I'd still have traded that. I'd still be okay with the trade there. Oh my gosh, another Jeskai Ascendancy. Oh boy, opponent. But yes, DJ Jedi at Jeff. I believe they very well could have stacked that a little bit better. But the trade is fine here. I'd have 2 tokens left over, and I have a lot of goblins. I'm already expecting to lose my Rabble Master at some point, but it doesn't look like I'm going to at this point. Chalice on 2. I kind of wonder if that just wins the game. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extra Rabble Master here doesn't kill this turn. It would be +2 here. This is 8, 9, 10. So it doesn't kill. It's close, but it doesn't kill. So instead of like them untapping and getting to do something ridiculous here, we're gonna just Chalice on 2. I don't expect them to have much. They do have a Fate Stitcher down here, so they can unearth this. But Chalice on 1 and 2, I just feel like I feel safe and not. And maybe they just unearth and they can do something crazy here, but they're not going to be generating too big, I think, off 3 cards. We'll see if my Chalice on 2 is a mistake. So they made a Fairy Conclave here. Made a Fairy Conclave. Gets to untap Steam Vents. Alright. Have I died? Faith is looting. So these are going to get +2/+2 every time, and he gets to double loot here. And he gets to untap 2 things at a turn. But he has only 2 more spells. So if he gets to get all of them, 6, 12, 18. Maybe we do die here. Looks like that one LSV Brood. I'm not familiar with the one LSV Brood. I think we die here because I think it's 18 extra damage. He untaps. They all have to be 1-mana spells. He's gonna try. I like the go for it. Can you imagine if we had Eidolon instead? All right, there's a Thought Scour. Untaps. These are 6, 6, 6, 12, 16. So he just has to have one more spell here. Might have just needed a blocker. I might have. Might have needed just a blocker. It depends on what like their last card here is. And they've pitched Spell Pierce, Faithless Looting, Thought Scour, Scalding Tarn. They're making a lot of blue. A couple more lands. This has to be a spell anyway. And then we can see if our blocker would have been enough. But it would have to be a non-2 mana spell. Oh gosh, what is this? 5 mana? Oh, they had a Faithless Looting in the yard too that they pitched. So assuming that they get one more here, these would be 8/8s, so then 10/10s if they can cast one more. So it wouldn't have mattered if I had a blocker. And they had a negate behind this. Yeah, so all of this would have killed me anyway, because they'd have 10 or 20 in the air here. So our blocker on the ground would not have mattered. I do admire that they are making sure that they untap all their mana correctly, though. They're doing this in case they were like spike another Faithless Looting as well. They get another Fate Stitcher. Thought Scour. But yeah, this is 20 in the air anyway. So I kind of like my line of the two. I guess if they didn't hit exactly Faithless Looting and the negate, then the blocker would have been just enough. Would have been just enough. Alright, I'm not feeling these Karns anymore. Let's go ahead and get rid of one more Karn. Let's bring in a bridge. Kind of feeling these Blood Moons a little more. Storm Breath out, Blood Moon. Let's do Karn out, Blood Moon, Karn out. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I don't particularly like Karn in this matchup anymore. I thought they were going to be more Blue-Red Phoenix, and we were going to use Karn maybe to go get a bridge. That was kind of the idea. Now that we know they're more of a Jeskai Ascendancy list, I feel my Blood Moons are a little bit stronger now. Alright, so I have a turn 2 Rabble Master. Is that enough? I do have a Scavenger Grounds too. Let's go ahead and keep this because I have the Scavenger Grounds. It does seem like they're on the Fate Stitcher plan. Hitting one more land and I can play the Scavenger Grounds to prevent my opponent from untapping a million things. If I can hide the Scavenger Grounds behind a land draw here, I will. Bridge is okay. My opponent seems to have things like Negate. They don't have too many Spell Pierces because they're more of a cantrip-based deck. More cantrips. Land here would be good. No land. No land, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and Rabble Master. Go, Rabble Master. I could also attempt to just play a secondary Rabble Master after this and kind of try to go for the win. I think they might want to try to remove this Rabble Master if they're capable of it. If they're capable of it. Serum Visions, 2 cards to the bottom, Steam Vents, untapped. Bolt. Faithless Looting. Alright, we do need to hit our land. Hitting a land here is very important for us. Getting a land is important. There's an Arc-Light Phoenix. Alright, we don't hit the land. I'm going to go ahead and ritual out a Rabble Master as well here. That way I can 1 F6, 2. I am threatening lethal here. They've switched to Phoenix now. It's kind of scary. Manamorphose. I have a feeling they've got to get this Phoenix out and hope to hit a couple more Phoenixes here with like Thought Scours. Maybe they'll set one up here with the Serum Visions. I think that's one of their few outs now that they've already used one blue off of 1 Serum Visions. 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top from the Serum Visions. There's a Thought Scour. There's the second Phoenix. So they have 2 Phoenixes. They'll block these 2, take 5, go to 4. I have a land here. I would probably get rid of the graveyard after this attack. Definitely not attacking here. We do have a land. So I'm just going to attack here, and I'll leave Scavenger Grounds open. Everything swings in here. And we'll be putting them to 4. 3 if they fetch. And we have the graveyard covered. I'm feeling pretty good. No real reason to fire off the Scavenger Grounds at the moment. I'd rather capture 1 or 2 more things they put in here. Flooded Strand. They're at 3. They need 2 blockers. Need 3 blockers. What do you got, opponent? They can looting? That's fine. They can spend all 3 to do looting. Yeah, I'm completely fine with that looting. I'm just going to stop these Phoenixes if it comes to that. Opt-in, opt-in, opt-in. And concession. And a concession. Yeah, it's just Scavenger Grounds. I don't know what's on top. If it's a land, we get a Legion War Boss. If not, we have 5 goblins we're attacking with. Hey, there we go. A little 4-1. A little 4-1. Alright. A 2-3. Because we started 0-3 for the day and then brought it back. Went back to a little more comfortable list that I'm on right now. Got the 4-1. 4-1, Uncle DB. Heck yeah. Thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. Setting up those celebrations. Let's take a look here. Draw a card. There's a Blood Moon. A little weak because I can't play it. I get it the next turn and maybe shut them off all their colors. Alright, we played a little bit of Goblins and then we played this list. I would not run the Bonfire in this list as it is right here. I would probably change to Slag Storms. The one time we wanted to cast it, we actually had to cast it for 5. Kamikaze Maniac, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I kind of like the Eidolons. Maybe you cut an Eidolon so that you can have something like a Tormod script. We didn't really get the Hazret, Koth, and Stormbreath really going too much. Jund matchup remains a little bit difficult. Blue-white is also difficult, but the rest of the matches seem to be coming together reasonably well. There is a little bit of a debate on whether you should be running 2, 3, 4 Chandras or 2, 3, 4 Karns. I think if your plan is to be aggressive but have a quick finish, I think Karn is necessary to be at 3 or 4. I would not drop him to 2. The toolbox portion becomes less useful if he is at 2. If you're doing the toolbox, you need him at 3 or 4, and I'd recommend probably 4. This does mean that you're cutting back on Chandra, though. And we do like Chandra. Scavenger Grounds was good in that game. Maybe worth a 2 of. And 2 Voids. These Voids have been reasonable. I haven't been unhappy with them. They've been reasonable. You like 3 and 3? I could see 3 and 3, or I could see cutting one Karn and putting like a Hazard, a Koth, or maybe a Piakir Nalar. I could see something like that as well. I've been pretty happy with 4 though, but that's because I'm trying to do some busted things with liquid metal coating here on turn 2 or 3, which is kind of busted. Krenko's been okay. There's been a few times I'd prefer like a Legion War Boss. Ironically, although Krenko's kind of nice in the blue-white matchup, if they're tapped out and you play Krenko, they just like, okay, I'll path that next turn. But if you get a Legion War Boss, you at least get another creature on the battlefield. Doesn't mean it's going to do a lot, but there's been times where our singleton token has done like 3 or 4 damage. It's like a bolt, you know, gets you there. Gets you there. All right, we're going to glance to see if there's anybody to raid. Looks like Evan is playing, so we're going to go ahead and raid Ivaros, playing Mono Red Hollow Phoenix, which sounds ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's going to do it, though. If you're brand new to the stream, please consider following. Help support us. If you're not very well versed with our team, it is Bruce by the Magic Guy and Ivaros. So if you want to, please join this raid. It helps us out a lot, and we'll toss the love back over to Ivaros. We stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday playing modern decks like this. So if this is your fancy, hit the follow button, get that notification when we go live. Marin, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Bruce by also. And then Thursday is Go. I believe those were our raids. Thank you so much, Kamikaze. We worked pretty decently on it, putting it together. Template was put together, and we got it. We got it. Got it all there. All right, chat. That's going to do it. Join us in the raid. Peace out. Have a good rest of your Monday. Thank you, Zale. Let's hit this play button, right? Some magic. Heck yeah. All right. I'll see you in the raid. Peace out, guys.